Alex.
And I'm Kris. And you're watching
Thanks! We Hate It! With Alex and Kris. Alright.
Yep.
Well, today is not Valentine's Day, but I wish it was because it's my favorite.
I do not care for it.
That's okay.
Halloween's the only holiday I really like, honestly.
I mean, Halloween's always going to be the priority.
The rest are just kind of there. I like getting drunk on St. Patty's Day.
That's fun.
That's fun. That's always fun. But yeah, so in honor of the theme of love, sort of, I guess, we're going to be doing the worst couples in horror. Yeah, there's quite a few to choose from.
I like this one.
I tried to stick to ones that maybe we hadn't talked about as much, like the movies we hadn't talked about as much, to try and get some variety, but there's so many bad couples to choose from, you guys.
There's quite a bit, and some of them are super obvious, and some of them, you know, at least on my list, might kind of just be like, oh, well, okay.
Duh. Yeah, I've got a couple of does on my list. Like, yeah. And I didn't even include the biggest, which I'll see if you included it, but if not, we'll talk about it at the end, but one of the biggest problematic relationships in horror. But I didn't include it on my list, but it could have been.
I didn't. I think we're thinking the same thing, and I didn't include it on my list either because I thought that was too obvious.
Right,
so
but I would like to discuss it because So,
but yeah,
we'll see. We'll see when we get to the end where we're at. All right. Yay. So what's your number 5?
My number 5 is I'm gonna go for Wendy and Jack Torrance in The Shining. This is a duh one, obviously, but I can't. Like, The Shining is good, and I love Stephen King. I love the movie. You know, I fucking hate Stanley Kubrick, but the movie's great. But, God, like, it just, watching it, maybe because I'm an empath, I don't know, but, like, watching it, and I'm just feeling so uncomfortable, and I'm sure that's the purpose of the movie, obviously, but, like, just the relationship is just, God, it's so gross. It's so gross. Like, and
you can't even blame it on, oh, well, Jack's being influenced by the Overlook Hotel, because before they even get there, Wendy's talking about how he's got anger problems, and he's broken Dani's arm, and he's, you know, so it's not a good relationship to start with.
No.
So it's not like, oh, poor Jack, it's the hotel made him evil. Like, he was not that great a guy to begin with.
No, and I think that was the big problem, is that it'd be one thing if, like, that wasn't included. It'd be like, oh, okay, well, they seem like a normal family, and ew, yeah, still, gross couple. But, like, already setting that up and already giving it the power it needs to say, you know, that was enough. That was all you had to tell me. And so, you know, when they went, you know, to the hotel, I think that's when I really started to just be like, ugh, God damn it. Like, here we fucking go.
Well, she really sold it, too, and I think it's because she was being terrorized on the set as well as in front of the camera.
Stanley Kubrick is a fucking asshole.
I mean, she was losing hair. Guys, like, actors and actresses should not have to go through what she went through on that set.
There was an interview I saw where someone had asked Shelley Duvall about, you know, her time on the set with Stanley Kubrick, and she was like, you know, she was like, I was angry, obviously, at the time. She was like, I guess I understand, and I forgive him. And I thought, girl, do not lower yourself that way. We've seen the
behind-the-scenes videos. He was horrible to her.
Do not lower your standards that way. Like, you are allowed to be like, this guy ruined my life for a period of time.
This was a bad experience.
You are allowed to be so angry about it. And to be, you know what, and to be fair here, I can't tell somebody how to feel, you know, but I can say, if you do have that little feeling in the back of your head of like, dude, I'm still mad about it, you are allowed to be mad about it, and you don't have to come to terms. You don't have to come to terms with anything.
Just because it turned out to be a great movie, classic cinema, whatever, doesn't invalidate her experience there. But yeah, Jack and Wendy, they don't start out great. It turns into an even more volatile, abusive relationship as it goes on, and his drinking and craziness gets worse. But again, I really think it's important to emphasize that in the book it's even more clear, but in the movie that Jack and Wendy, it's not like they were some happy couple, loving family before they got to the Overlook.
Right. It was just, in this case, the straw that broke the camel's back, you know, and it's... You know,
I was not sad Jack
was
died.
A log,
I was not sad that they lost their dad. Like, yeah, I was like, Jack should die. Yes.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I was happy to see him frozen on screen. I was like, fuck that guy.
Fuck that guy.
No, and Shelley Duvall, I mean, she just so beautiful, and I thought she was a good actress. I thought she did really well, and people, like, really riffed on her for it, and it was so sad, because I was like, if you think you can act better, then you fucking do it,
And under those conditions, where she has to do a scene 100 times, swinging a bat, being scared.
Exactly.
At an 11,
Like, you do it, and you tell me how you fucking feel, okay? That woman was terrified, both acting and for real, so eat shit. She did what she could, and I don't care what
job you have. If your job is so stressful that you are literally losing chunks of your hair, you quit that. I don't think you should have that job. Like, no. I don't care what job it is. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah. But, yeah, obvious reasons.
Right, very obvious.
Yeah.
My 5 is very obvious as well. I'm going with Billy and Sydney from Scream.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah.
I knew you were gonna bring up Scream.
So toxic. Yes. This is the one where I'm like, okay, I know we've been talking about Scream a lot, but again, same with The Shining. I think it's just so obvious that you have to include it. Not only did he turn out to be the one who murdered her mother, but he also tricked her into losing her virginity, gaslit her, kidnapped her father, planned to kill both her and her father, and frame her father for it. And, slight spoilers for the new Scream movie, what's worse? He cheated on her on all of that as well. So Billy is a scumbag.
Fuck that guy.
Like, I don't care what Roman's influence was. I don't care that he had mommy issues and mommy left him. Like, fuck Billy Loomis.
Nothing can make me care about this character, no matter how much backstory you give him. You know what I'm saying?
Fuck Billy Loomis. They ruined him even more with the new one by giving him the backstory that he cheated on Sydney. Because now, you've made it so that the thing that he was mad about, that his dad cheated and his mom left, where's the power in that? He's a cheater just like his dad. So why is he so upset with Maureen? He's a cheater too.
It's dumb.
The new movie. I hate the new movie so much, you guys. But yeah, so he tricked her into bed, took her virginity, killed her mother, killed her best friend, or maybe Stu did. I don't know. I remember I had it down which one killed which person, but I don't remember now whether Stu or Billy killed Tatum. I think it was Billy. And tried to frame her father for it after threatening to kill her and her father. So Billy and Sydney are not couple goals by any means at all.
Hard no pass.
Hard no pass.
Yeah, I knew you were going to bring up a
I don't care how cute Skeet Ulrich looked back in the 90s. No.
No, fuck you.
I did have a picture of him from, like, Teen Beat or Tiger Beat on
my
wall.
Hell yeah.
For sure.
Fuck yes. Yes, I love it. I love every minute of it.
Even while knowing, like, no, Billy Loomis is a bad guy, but Skeet Ulrich is not bad looking.
He's cute.
All right, so number 4.
My number 4, I am going to go with Bert and Vicky from Children of the Corn.
Yeah.
Okay, y'all. So, first of all, I like to say I really fucking love Children of the Corn.
Yeah.
Like, a stupid amount. Like, that's actually, like, top tier, one of my favorite
Are you just going
Stephen
King?
I guess I did. Oh, shit, yeah, I didn't realize. Oh, yeah,
Stephen King does not write good couples, guys.
No, and it's, no offense, bro, but you fucking don't. Unless he intentionally makes it toxic and gross, which...
But think about the dark half, there's...
Gerald's Game, you know.
Oh, God, he's got no good couples
no,
at all.
They're pretty, they're written... Very gross. But Bert and Vicky, like, in the movie, I thought they had actually, like, really good energy and, like, really good chemistry. The only thing that really bothered me about it was that, like, there were themes that kept trying to be, like, brought up that, like, the audience was just, like... I feel like they didn't make me care enough about them in the beginning, where it's like, yeah, they got great chemistry and they got good energy, but, like, there's not enough substance there for me to, like, really care about these people. If that makes sense. So it kind of made it harder for me to kind of watch the movie as they would go through all their stuff. Because it's like, yeah, they've got good energy, but, like, I don't really care about them. you know?
That. I think, too much, there was a lot... The problem with Stephen King is that they leave out a lot from the books when they do the movies. And, yes, they change the endings, which is good, because sometimes his endings are not the greatest. and he's admitted this. But I think they just sometimes change too much from, like, The Shining, classic example, great movie.
Yes.
Did not include all the stuff from the book. The book is terrifying. I've scared myself while reading the book.
Oh, sure,
the movie never
terrifying.
scared me. I think it's just a matter of not being able to adapt all of Stephen King into one of his ideas into one movie.
Unless it's Maximum Overdrive.
I mean...
Which he wrote and directed.
While on cocaine.
Oh, good times.
Lots and lots of cocaine.
I liked the antagonists way better than I liked Bert and Vicky, you know? And
that's also
that
technically the case in a lot of Stephen King.
Right, where it's like, I fucking loved Malachi. Like, Malachi was so...
Interesting.
Courtney Gaines does not get enough fucking credit for the role of Malachi. And, like, he's been in so many films, and, like, when I see him, I get so excited, because, like, he's such a good actor. I think he does really well with anything he gets. And I feel like he is not appreciated as much as he should be in Children of the Corn. That was a terrifying character, and he was terrifying playing it. Like, I would be genuinely scared of this dude if, you know, he really was like that. He was perfect for something like that, and
Agreed.
Courtney Gaines is awesome. He needs more recognition.
All right, my number 4, I have Grace and Alex from Ready or Not.
Aha!
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, shit, yeah.
He literally married her even though he knew there was a chance that she could be killed during family game night.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, dude, at least tell her, hey, my family's weird, we have to play this game. Like, tell her something, make her choose. Or if you don't want to let her know, like, just be like, I don't believe in marriage. Like, what's wrong with living in sin? Just don't get married, then you don't have to play the stupid game, and then there's no chance that she's gonna get, you know, you just go live your life with the woman you love. Like,
That's
why
true.
does he follow his family's tradition to do this marriage, knowing that this could be the outcome? That he lived through one other time that this was already the outcome.
Right.
Like, it's,
Maybe it's money. Maybe they're gonna, like, I don't know.
Well, I'd be like, okay, cut me off then. Or, like, why am I taking the chance? If I truly love my spouse, and this because it could have happened if the sister had gotten married and her husband drew the card, you know, like, so it doesn't matter, spouse, bride, groom, whatever. If you knew that there's a chance that your spouse could die because you chose to marry them, like, I don't know, just don't get married. Simple solution, but I don't know.
Also, maybe it's, like, too much family pressure, and, like, I'm sure money might be
I feel like his
too,
brother
you know?
worried more about her than he did. Then, like, was it Daniel? Was that the brother? I think it was Daniel.
I don't remember.
Played by Adam Brody.
Oh!
I think it was Daniel. Whatever the brother's name was.
Okay.
I feel like he cared more about what happened to Grace than Alex did. Like, I'm glad she survived. I'm glad what happened, that they all exploded or whatever.
Dies!
Yeah, no. Not couple goals.
Not a vibe.
Not couple goals. All right, number 3.
Number 3 already. Hot diggity damn. I'm going to bring up Ryan and Michelle from Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. I'm talking about Texas Chainsaw Massacre again. And
deal.
So, I absolutely fucking love this movie. I'm gonna, first of all, clear the air here. I love this movie. Ryan and Michelle, they kind of, in my opinion, give off the same energy as Bert and Vicky from Children of the Corn, which is why I put it, like, right above Children of the Corn. Their chemistry is, like, okay. It definitely isn't as good as, like, Bert and Vicky's was, but, like, the acting, I think, is what really did not. Like, it was just kind of like they were acting at each other and not, like, with each other, if that makes sense, you know, and it was, again, there was, like, nothing that made me fucking care about these characters, especially, like, with Ryan, you know, it's like, God, Ryan, you're such a fucking prick, but that is also played by my boy, William Butler, who I absolutely adore, and I know I've talked about him a lot on here. And I feel like, again, he did what he could with the script, you know, but I don't think he's a bad actor. I think he did what he could. It's just, at the end of the day, with both of them acting at each other, it just wasn't good.
Just kill them already.
Because the only snippets of information that we really get as an audience is that they were dating and that they were having some sort of relationship problems, and they were going on this trip like before Michelle moved. So they were going on this trip before they broke up, and it was weird. I was like, this is odd. I
think that's just another case of the script needing another pass before actually shooting.
Like I would rather see that couple be like madly in love with each other, you know,
or completely hate each other but not, you know, like something.
Right.
They're just in between. Like, yeah, it's way more interesting when you've got a couple that are just constantly fighting.
Right.
But there's something that's keeping them together.
Exactly.
Or they are so much in love that they're going to risk their lives to save each other and stuff like that. That's where relationships are interesting. Those two. Yeah. In the middle, not interesting.
No, it's just especially for how stale it was with Ryan and Michelle and the acting. So, yeah, that's why, no.
I can
boring.
See. Yeah.
All right, let's go number 3.
I'm going to do another obvious one. Rose and Kris from Get Out.
Oh, yes.
Like, she literally only dates him in order to kidnap him and steal his body. So, that's not a good relationship, guys. Like, at all. And I think what's worst is that we see her being protective of him, like, in the scene with the cop and stuff. And so, she makes him really think that he's found someone that's gonna love him. And then it turns out, and then again, what's worse is when he gets there, it's almost like he's being gaslit throughout this movie because he feels like the discomfort that he's feeling there, he's, you know, chalking it up to, oh, well, there's too many white people. I'm one guy in this house full of white people. And that's why he's so excited when he sees Andre at the party. Yeah. It's not Andre anymore. But yeah, so I think it's just a whole movie of gaslighting and lying and manipulating and then body stealing. Like, it's just not a good relationship. I think anytime, for any reason, if you're anywhere and you're getting that gut feeling of I'm uncomfortable, just leave. Like, I don't care what you think, why you think you have that reaction. If you think you're, I'm black and I'm surrounded by too many white people, or I'm white surrounded by too many black people, whatever the reason, if you have a gut feeling that something ain't right and that you're uncomfortable, just leave.
The slightest bit of pressure, because just get up and go.
I was suspicious of those people. Like, I'm white and I was suspicious of those people, so I mean, like, I would have left. But yeah,
it's just really weird. And I like the elements that they have too in that movie where you know, like, they actually, like, talk about a lot of, like, super, like, liberal and, like, leftist, like, you know, jargon, essentially.
I would vote for Obama the third time.
Right, you know, and just kind of, like, overdoing
Meanwhile, you see their real intentions, because Rose is so fucking racist that she eats cereal in the weirdest way I've ever seen on film. Like, I don't... Like, even the KKK probably just puts their milk in their cereal bowl. Like, how racist do you have to be to be like, I have to eat my cereal separate from my milk because my cereal is colored and my milk is white. Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, and I think, like, those elements, like, really added to, like, the toxicity of the relationship, mostly just because, like, you're basically using these beliefs and using these political, you know, opinions
to gaslight and trap. And
you know, you don't really believe in it. Like, you're just using it to manipulate, and I think that's just what makes it extra shitty.
I love the movie. I love Stephen Root's in it. I love Stephen Root in anything he does, even though he's a bad guy. Like, I like the movie, but yeah, Rose makes me extremely uncomfortable. For anybody, really.
Oh,
like,
sure.
I don't, like, she's just not a good person.
Boo.
And so, yeah, I think the fact that I think it's, the worst thing about it is that she made him feel like he had an ally in his relationship, and then she turns around and nope, she's probably more racist than that cop that stopped them. Like, yeah. Oh, that movie has so many layers.
It
Jordan
really
Peele,
does.
good job.
Oh, no, definitely. Like, Get Out is great. Like, that is a fucking phenomenal movie, but a shitty couple.
Yeah, sure. Which is the point of the movie, but still, yeah.
Have to bring it up. It needs to be addressed.
Have to. All right, number 2.
I can't believe we're here already. Wow. Okay, this is a little bit of an obvious one. But I'm bringing up Christian and Dani.
I have them as my number 1.
Do you? Mm-hmm. Oh, shit. Okay. Well, we're just gonna have to work with it now.
Right. We'll figure it out.
We're gonna have to work with it because, yeah.
Yeah, you're fine.
All right, Christian and Dani. Obvious reasons if you've seen Midsommar. Obvious. You know, I mean, it was pretty clear that Christian, you know, mentally ended the relationship months prior to, like, her family dying. You don't
stay with someone just because, like, he literally was probably gonna break up with her and then her family died. And then he was like, oh, shit.
Well, fuck.
Like, just break up with her anyway, because you're not gonna give her the emotional support she needs during this time anyway.
It's like, I wouldn't know what would be worse, you know, like staying in a relationship where, you know, it ended for them and the feeling wasn't mutual, or if you would have just broke up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what's worse.
He's clearly not there for her because she's still emotionally damaged by the time that he doesn't want her to go on this bro trip with him. And she basically, like, doesn't she, like, guilt him into taking her or something, or inviting her? I don't even remember what the situation was.
So I think what happened was, like, those guys were talking about, you know, we're talking about going on the trip or whatever, and Dani was like, well, I feel like that's really important that, like, you should tell me, and, like, they got into
he didn't even tell her that he was planning this trip.
Right, and, like, Christian was gaslighting her, you know, the whole time. It was just like, oh, well, I don't have to, you know, I didn't think it was that important. She was like, what the fuck do you mean it's not that important? Like, that's a big fucking thing to tell me, you know, which, I mean, she absolutely is right. Like, fuck Christian. You know, I feel for Dani here, obviously, but... yeah, that's what ended up happening, and she, you know, she was really upset about it, and I think it was like one of his friends.
I think they're like, dude, just ask her to come along.
Well, there was the one dude who was like from that commune, and was like,
it's
Dani,
his job to bring people. So.
Exactly. So he was like, you know, you should really invite Dani. Like, I think she would really like it, you know, and that's how it ended up happening. So. And of course, like, you know, throughout the whole movie, you see all the elements of Christian being, you know, fucking. You know,
I want to bring up this point, and it doesn't even have to do with their relationship. Christian decides at one point that he's going to steal the idea to write his thesis about this commune from his other buddy. That's his whole reason for coming. That was he had planned to write his thesis on these people. So this is proving that Christian isn't just a shitty boyfriend; he's a shitty friend too. So, like, Christian is just a shitty person.
Like, he's using people and using his, you know, I mean, using other people's ideas just for him to get farther in life.
But the interesting thing, I think, about this movie is that it shifts, and it almost becomes like, okay, now Dani's the one who's the bad one in this relationship. Because... Right. They both get drugged, so she knows she's been drugged. She's having her fun dancing around the maypole. He, meanwhile, gets dragged off to this sex ritual where he's basically raped. She sees it, and instead of thinking, oh, we've both been drugged, maybe he doesn't want to be participating in this sex ritual, she thinks he's cheating on her, which then, at the end of the movie, when they're like, okay, we have to kill one more, it can be either him or this person from our commune, she picks him. And it's like, now she's kind of the asshole in the relationship because he's being raped, he's been drugged, he's not cheating on you on purpose. Like,
it's not really like a Yas Queen moment.
Exactly.
If that makes sense.
Exactly.
You know? Yeah, like, it's like, I want it to be so bad, but unfortunately, unfortunately, you know, Christian had gone through... I mean, again, it's not excusing the shitty behavior that was previously showed, but, like, he also got... You're right, like, he got... technically assaulted. He couldn't really consent to what he was doing, but...
And he had already told that girl no earlier in the movie or whatever. So he had said no.
Right. So it was that was interesting. So he was technically assaulted and he was scared. I think he had a moment of like, oh, okay, I've learned my lesson. I think I'm good now, you know, and
I'm out.
And and in a sense you do kind of care about him a little bit, you know. And you're just like, oh shit, you know, that's rough. And who knows, maybe it's just his, you know, rule of threes where, you know, shit is coming back to him, you know.
Right.
But
that's
you know,
a lot of karma for just
still,
not breaking up with your girlfriend. Like,
but you still feel bad.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's why you have it at number 2, but this is technically my number 1. And the reason I have it is because I feel like in this relationship, they do switch back and forth over which one of them is the shitty one. Because, again, yes, he should have broken up with her. He didn't. Yes, he didn't invite her on the trip right away, but she eventually went. Yeah, he's not an attentive boyfriend. That's no reason to be raped and then killed by your girlfriend.
No.
Like, it really isn't.
That's a little harsh.
So, I think the punishment doesn't fit the crime here. Like, yes, he's an asshole, but it doesn't fit the crime.
Well, yeah.
And Dani, she's been through so much mentally and all this stuff, and she's not in the right place. And to be put in the position to make that decision, because someone's going to die no matter who she chooses. But I think it's a hard one, guys.
Yeah, I think, like, especially, like, towards the end, I think at that point where both of them have experienced so much trauma and so much shit that you're right, like, you're not in the right headspace, so you are probably going to make decisions that are like, I'm so angry right now, where I'm going to say, go ahead and fucking kill him.
Right.
But, and you're right, they're kind of going back and forth between who's the bad guy, who's the good guy.
And she's killing him thinking that he cheated on her. She's not thinking, oh, he was raped. She's thinking, he cheated on me, fuck him. Again, cheating on someone is also not a reason to kill them. It's not.
And just, just because you're switching back and forth between who's good and who's not, like, they were doing that as if, like, to erase all of the faults that both of them have, if that makes sense.
Right.
It's kind of like that erasure of that.
Because she's no peach either.
No, I mean, and of course, when you experience that much trauma and that much pain, you're gonna do shit that's not fucking cool and not a vibe, and that's going to happen. So you have to kind of keep that in mind. It doesn't make it right, but you have to understand how it happened and how, those feelings manifested.
This whole movie, if he had just broken up with her and she had gone to get therapy, this whole movie doesn't happen. These two people probably, I mean, maybe he would still go and get himself killed there with his buddies. She would have never gone.
No.
Like, she wouldn't have been the one responsible for his death.
Right.
She, just go get therapy, guys. Like, it's...
I mean, I know it's not feasible for everybody, but
right,
if you can,
please get therapy.
Please go to therapy. Everybody would benefit from therapy.
Don't join a death cult and then sentence your boyfriend to death. Like, it's not cool.
I wouldn't advise
that.
Cute.
It's not a cute look.
That's not hot. Okay. Right. Okay, well, since that was your number 1, do you want to do your number 2?
Yeah, I'll do my number 2.
Okay.
My number 2 is Jessie and Gerald from Gerald's Game, which we had mentioned before when we were talking about Stephen King. But this one, guys, this movie's a lot.
Y'all.
This movie is a lot if you have not seen it. I just want to start by saying stop means stop, no means no, even when you're married.
Correct.
That is the rule. So not only do we start off with him just not letting her out of the handcuffs when she says, I don't want to play your rape fantasy game.
Right.
So that's already not good. If your wife, girlfriend, partner, significant other, sex friend, whoever, if they say, I don't want to do this, to take these handcuffs off, take the fucking handcuffs off. Like, it's ridiculous. You guys are in the middle of rolling around in the bed, and you pull out handcuffs, and he or she says no, then put those handcuffs away and continue on with what you were already doing that they had consented to.
It's that simple.
Like, it's that simple. It really is.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, it's really rapey.
If you want someone who likes to be handcuffed, then go find someone who likes to be handcuffed and date them. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm not kink shaming. There's a lot of people who like the role play and the rape fantasy.
There's nothing wrong with
all of that is fine as long as it is consensual.
Exactly.
That is the only thing.
Right. Same thing with, like, just the BDSM community.
Exactly.
Where it's like, I mean, all the stuff they do, that's consensual. And the second somebody is uncomfortable with it, hey, this is a little too hardcore for me, they stop.
Yep.
So it's like, it's actually a very loving and caring community.
It is.
Like,
I'm not part of it, but I've heard that it is.
I have a couple of friends who are into it, and, they're like, yeah, no, it's nothing what people think it is, so, but it is all about consent, guys. Yep. Some people like it, and
consent
that's fine.
Means love. Consent is love.
That is correct. It's really caring about that person.
Yep. And then, so, again, all of that is before he even dies of his little heart attack or whatever. So then he has his Viagra heart attack. And we find out through her visions of him just how horrible this marriage really was. Like, he, basically gaslit her, blamed her for his problems with erectile dysfunction, abused her, all kinds of stuff. And then I think there's even the point made that she comes to terms or comes to realize that she probably picked him because he reminds her of her father, who also sexually abused her as a child. And, like,
that's a mess within itself.
Right. The whole movie is just... It was a hard watch. Like, it's a good movie, but it's a hard watch.
Yeah, I didn't watch it, but I did see, like, bits and pieces of it, and I do know the story, and I'm aware of what happens. But, yeah, I think that's probably, like, the reason why I don't want to watch it or read it, is because, like, that's a little too
triggering, yeah.
Yeah, like, that's a little, I mean, like, I've had experiences that I'm obviously not close to what, is portrayed in the book, but it's in the same arena, and it's, I can't get through it. It's really hard.
See how people would have that reaction, too, because there are a lot of triggering. Men and women, I'm not going to exclude men, but because men can be victims as well.
Of course.
But there are a lot of men and women who have experienced things similar to this sort of abuse from a spouse or significant other, and I can see why that would make it difficult to watch this. The good thing about this is that she does come out the other end, and the money that she does get from his life insurance she uses to try and help victims of abuse like her. Mm-hmm. I do feel bad that she doesn't stop seeing, the visions and stuff, that she's so traumatized. But again, she is seeking therapy, so the hope here is that in time she'll be able to, move past it and start finding people who aren't like her father and aren't abusers.
She's doing what she can, Yeah. She's doing what she can.
So it does end on a hopeful note.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, no, that's nice to see. Yeah. At least there's kind of a happy ending in that.
Right, like, I feel like they didn't need to add the serial killer who ate off dude's face, because Gerald himself was enough of a villain. They didn't need to add that shadowy figure that she kept seeing that turned out to be that serial killer. Like, it...
Yeah.
I think just the visions of him tormenting her would have been enough to be a villain in that
that's enough. Yeah, it's like, that's enough trauma for one movie.
So...
Yeah.
So, yeah, but that's a bad couple, guys. Real bad couple. All right, so we already did my number one. What's your number one?
My number one, and the only reason why I have this at number one is just because I love the series so much, and it's just, and it's ironic that I picked these people because, like, the other couple in the movie is very, very shitty. I am picking Jade and Jessie in Bride of Chucky.
Oh God, those two.
I am ironically using that because obviously I know Chucky and Tiffany are like top tier toxic worst couple.
Yes.
But I really wanted to bring up Jade and Jessie because God fucking damn it, they are so annoying.
Yes.
They're like,
worst couple.
Oh, like, we love each other, and now I'm frustrated with you, and now, is this gonna ruin our relationship?
Maybe he's the killer. Well, maybe she's the killer. Well, let's get married anyway.
That's, what the flying fuck? Like, it's so stupid.
I wish they had both died. I really do. I wish they had both died.
Yes. It's like, I preferred to watch Tiffany and Chucky. Like, right. I preferred to watch how they interacted and what they did over these fucking literal children.
Right.
Literal children who think teenagers. That they're, exactly.
Like, John Ritter was wrong for the way he treated them, but he was right that they were too young to be married and serious and shit. Like,
God, like, they're just so, I hate everything about their relationship.
Yes, everything about
it was
them,
so
the
hard
relationship. I was rooting for Chucky and Tiffany to murder them.
Oh, 100%. Like, it's like, I can't.
I hate them.
And the thing is, it's like, I mean, obviously, not only did I not care about them, like, I know in the beginning, like, oh, we can't be together, so I have to go to prom with, like, my friend who's gay.
Right, whatever.
I mean, it's just, I hate that. And it's like, if you're trying to appeal to that audience of, like, people that I can't be with, like, and then you make them like that, and then you make them into, like, a shitty-ass couple. Right. What are you doing? Like, what are you trying to portray here? Right. What are you saying? So it's just...
And guys, if you even think that the person you want to marry may be a serial killer, don't marry them. Don't go to a little, roadside chapel and just marry them. Don't.
Well, and especially, like, I mean, again, I don't really necessarily mean to enforce this narrative, but, like, even if, like, your parents or, like, a lot of the adults around you are, like, this guy, he just doesn't seem,
right.
He really just, it's not that I don't like him just to not like him because he's your boyfriend.
See, the problem is in this case, that's exactly what it is John Ritter just doesn't, because this kid seems fine. Like,
he's fine. No, like, this kid is fine.
But John Ritter just doesn't want her to date him because he just doesn't like this kid. So,
right.
But yeah, if the majority of adults or your friends are telling you, hey, and maybe listen to them because you're blinded and not seeing something that they are.
Right. It's like you're just seeing how much you like
But
them.
I don't think that fits here because, again, no. I don't think there's anything wrong with this kid. They at one point think each other killed people and then still got married. That's the issue.
Right.
I think, if you think my significant other may have just killed a bunch of people where we were, maybe don't go get married to that person.
Right.
Maybe take a couple weeks to think about it.
Right. Well, and the thing is, too, it's like, I mean, you're right. Like, this kid was fine. I mean, like, he didn't have any of those vibes. But it's cool that later in the movie, then they did attach it, where they're like, because it kind of fools the audience. It fools the audience that, oh, he's fine, and let those kids be together, and then it goes back and forth between, like, okay, well, we know that Chucky and Tiffany are doing it, but, Jade doesn't know that. So it's kind of like...
But then he thinks that Jade's the killer at some point, too. So, I mean, it's just so stupid.
Yeah,
It's just so stupid.
I hated how they acted. I thought they were just a shit-ass couple in a shit-ass situation. Both of them were not reacting well to anything, so it's just, no. Yeah. They were worse together.
Yeah. I think they are my least favorite couple. Like, the ones I brought up have obvious, like, problems. But these two, two kids that are just annoying. I hate them. Like, they're just annoying people. They're annoying as a couple. I hate them. Like, you don't root for them at all.
I wanted them to die so
bad.
There's
no obvious... That's the thing. I think that's the thing. There's no obvious problem with these kids. They're just two dumb kids who want to date each other. But to us, the audience, they just come across as so fucking annoying. Like, everyone else. Rose and Chris. Grace and Alex. Billy and Sydney. Gerald and Jessie. They have obvious problems where you're like, yeah, that's not a good couple. But really, there's nothing really wrong with Jade and what's-his-face being a couple. It's just that, God, I just hate them. Yeah. Like, I just don't like them.
No, there's nothing to like. It's just like, God, like, if I ever met you in real life, I think you're fucking...
Right, how does that kid be friends with them? The poor kid that gets killed. Like, how is he their friend? I couldn't be friends with them.
They have personalities of, like, paper plates.
Right. He seemed way more fun than they did. Like, No. But, all right, since you stole my number one, we both didn't put this on our list because she mentioned it before. This couple, I think, is the clear winner of most toxic, worst couple in horror. The problem lies that their relationship, even though it is extremely toxic, is often revered and held up, kind of like Joker and Harley Quinn.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
But yeah, it's Chucky and Tiffany are the worst horror couples.
Of course.
Absolutely. Yes. The abuse they inflict on each other, like, it's not even that one is they're both toxic people and even more toxic when you put them together.
They're like a bigger stick of dynamite compared to just, like,
They both hit each other. They both cheat on each other. They both tried to kill each other. They both, they're not couple goals. And so it kind of, I love them both. I love their characters. But I don't go, I want my ride or die to be like Chucky, like, guys, if you need a horror couple to aspire to, Morticia and Gomez are right there.
Gomez.
Morticia.
Gomez.
Morticia.
Gomez.
Morticia.
Beautiful.
Chucky and Tiffany
Yeah.
are not couple goals the same way that Joker and Harley Quinn are not couple goals.
Like, I'm sorry, but, like, you can like the aesthetic of it, of just, like, oh, yeah, like, a villain couple, but you should not be holding them in high standards.
Right.
You have to understand that they're super toxic and that, whoa, like, these characters are actually really shitty, but you can still like
Enjoy
the aesthetic.
it. Yeah.
You know, the aesthetic of, like, oh, that villain, like, spooky couple, you know, like, it's cool, but, like, don't ever fucking hold a real life standard to that. Come on! Again, common fucking sense, guys.
Because I've seen them where they have those shirts where they're like, I'm her Joker, I'm his Harley. I've started seeing those for Chucky and Tiffany, where it's I'm his Tiffany, I'm his Chucky. No.
Not a vibe,
No.
guys. That's really gross. Like, get better idols. Like, that's shitty.
No. Guys, Morticia and Gomez are right there.
They are.
That's couple goals.
Like, they are the standard, guys. They are the fucking standard. So, if you want something spooky to look up to, something you can relate to, that's who you have to pick.
Right.
So.
I mean, I feel like, Dr. What's-His-Face and Shigo from, Draken and Shigo from Kim Possible.
Can you excuse us, Dr. D?
Shigo, as long as you're going to live under my roof, you'll follow my rules. And rule number 1, no secrets. Whatever is going on is obviously a private matter. Later, Gators. You know, I do think of us as a kind of evil family, and families stick together. So if you need me, I'll be there for you.
They were toxic and not nice to each other too, but I still feel like you felt the love under there.
Or like fucking, no. Plankton in the computer.
Oh my god,
That's who I think of.
Karen.
That's who I think of, where it's like, yeah, they kind of riff on each other a little, but like the love is so strong and it's there, you know. So that's fine.
Right.
That's
a
do.
fun bad guy couple. Like Dr. Draken and Shigo and Plankton and Karen, yeah. Those are fun villain kids.
Right. But yeah, no, Chucky and Tiffany, that
toxic.
Guys.
Please don't model your relationship after them, guys. Please don't.
When did that become the standard?
Right.
That's really my big question. When?
I don't know. But yeah.
Don't do it.
Yeah, don't do it. You can I do enjoy them as a couple. I would not want that relationship.
It's fun to watch.
Right.
It's fun to watch, but you have to understand it's very unhealthy and
very
fucking
unhealthy.
gross.
Please don't do that.
That's the whole point of horror, is that, yeah, it's fun to watch, but obviously it's really shitty in real life. Like, people take that shit too fucking seriously. I swear to Christ. It's like you're trying to relate to fictional characters in the worst way possible. It's just like fucking how the Rick and Morty fandom has become, and how people, you know, are starting to be like, oh yeah, you know, like goals, you know, like fucking Rick.
Rick is not goals, guys.
You gotta put these seeds inside your butt.
It's like,
I love Rick and Morty. Rick is not goals.
You're missing the point. It's people who are missing the point. It's going right over their fucking heads. It's like, you're missing the point by idolizing them.
Right.
You know.
For sure.
Well, I think we covered it pretty well.
Yeah, and I think we should do one more week of Valentine's Day, since next week is actually Valentine's Day. So let's do our next episode. Let's do worst rom-coms.
Oh.
Yeah? I've got things to say. I got things to say. It's not my genre, but my mom has made me watch some.
It is 100% not my genre, which is why I want to riff on it hard.
Right. And I'm not just talking about the Hallmark movies. I'm talking about the actual rom-com genre. Like, you know, there's some good ones, but most of them I do not like, so I have lots to say.
They're fucking boring. I'm gonna leave y'all with that. Like,
I think most of my list is gonna have like Jennifer Lopez movies.
Oh,
I hate them all. I hate them all.
Yeah. My number one thought that comes up is like Sarah Jessica Parker. She's definitely gonna be in my list.
She's not it's not a big part of it, but I love First Wives Club.
Oh, yeah.
I love that movie.
Yeah.
So much. And I do like Sex and the City. Not the new one.
Oh. The OG.
The OG. I started rewatching it and I still like it.
That's okay.
I know it is.
That's fine.
I know it is.
That's what you like, but I think it's boring as shit, but that's just me.
Oh, it's hilarious. It's hilarious.
we will save that for next week.
Yep. we'll have that debate next week. Remember to like and subscribe, ring the bell so you get all the awesome content on our channel. And I guess good night, good fight.
You will ride. Maybe. Read him and we.